Merry Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? Hope you're all doing well. So, for one last build for the year, I thought we'd do a bit of a Santa's Grotto, or perhaps Santatron's Grotto would be more appropriate. This sort of themed build anyway, to round out the year. Something to keep us going over the Christmas period. We're going to slow things down a little bit, maybe get one more video out, we'll see. But I had a little look online for Santa's Grotto, saw a great deal of decorated sheds, but not much that was very helpful. So we found a hotel in Finland to inspire this particular build. But it doesn't look much like that, so we'll see how it actually turns out. We are once again, as you can see, in the same place we were last time, just across from the White Springs, just north of them Mountain Disposal. See the White Spring there. Got Big Fred's Barbecue Shack off to the north, and the National Isolated Radio Array over to the east. So, nice central location. So I just stick around here rather than try and hunt somewhere new down, and I kind of like this location, so why not? So, starting out with a 3x3 square. Took me a few minutes to figure out what I was doing with this, so slightly weird way of putting the floor in, but that's what it ends up being. So yeah, as I say, I found a lot of sheds online that were decorated as Santa's grottos, but upon searching for Santa's house, came up with a hotel in Finland that served as kind of inspiration. As I say, it doesn't look a great deal like the result of Fallout, but the general shape is vaguely similar at least. So obviously the glaring problem with building a Santa's grotto or anything really Christmas themed in Fallout is the distinct absence of any snow. So we'll have to use our imaginations a little bit there. But I think we get a reasonably Fallout Christmassy kind of finished result. So we're going for a little bit of an interesting shape here. Working around there, avoiding that overly square look. But we've got a little bit clipping through the ground. I've got the foundations a little bit low there. So pop this one up and try again. There we go, nice and easy. Just hold the select button and then lift it up. Get the walls back in, and we'll pick up from where we left off. So, a lot of spinning around. The servers were a little bit laggy as I recorded this, unfortunately, so a lot of stuff popping in late and things looking a bit weird, so apologies for that. But we've got a slightly recessed entranceway here, just to give it a little bit more character. Get a few windows on the front there. And I'm going to close off this back edge, but I wanted a second floor in here. I did think about putting a third floor in, actually, but the result was ridiculously tall and thin and really didn't look very good, so that got kicked to the curb fairly quickly. We could put we can put a little stairwell on the back here. Get the staircase in here. Stairs snap in just fine, but because of this wall underneath, I can't get the floor to go straight in, which is a bit unfortunate. I also say this shape is going to change in a little bit. It ends up being a little bit too flat and boring, so we'll get to that in a moment. For now, wall out, floor in, and then the wall can go back. Build order as always. There we go. And we'll put the upper floor in. There we go. Nice and simple. Sticking with the wood for this one because none of the other textures really gave any more of a Santa's Grotto feeling than that, and I thought we'll at least echo those decorated sheds that you see around so much at this time of year. So we're going to get a little bit of an entranceway on here to provide a nice welcoming way in, so kind of balcony veranda type deal. Use ramp here if it actually wants to snap on. There we go. And one more foundation and some stairs, because once again running up rather close to the edge of the build area. I haven't actually moved at all from where we were last time. We're in exactly the same place. So the limits of the build area are in the same place. I wanted to try and work with the lay of the land a little bit more this time though. So got the kind of natural walkway, I suppose, path perhaps along the bottom edge of the sort of ridge in the ground there that leads up to the bottom of the steps. Now, 3 atoms. Merry Christmas. And we have the veranda nice and done. Nice and easy. So, beginning to make the shape a little bit more interesting and give it a bit more character, and also to follow that hotel that we're drawing inspiration from. We're going to put some balconies out on the front there. Doorways. Some windows in. One more. There we go. Nice and easy. It's the front with a slightly more interesting look to it than it would otherwise have had. Fill in the rest of the walls. So it's been a bit finicky about when it wants to put things in. There you go, look at that. As if by magic they all spontaneously appear. So, floor over the stairs and we'll get onto the roof. So, at this point I'd spent a lot of time considering putting a third floor on, faffing around with the roof. It took me a while to sort of get it working. But I settled on putting an extra half-height set of walls around this back edge, falling down the stairs. And we're going to go for a sort of angled roof, or a number of different angles in the roof, to try and get things looking a little bit more interesting. So we've got the lower section at the front there, all the corner pieces just to round it out a little bit. And we're going to step up a level here. So turn it 90 degrees effectively there. Now we need to plug this gap. Fortunately, this little half wall we've got at the top is causing the problem there. Didn't really need to change that roof piece, but it took me a little while to figure out exactly why this sloped wall, I suppose, wouldn't actually snap in. Ah, there we go, I've got it now. See if we get on this side much more efficiently. It is. There we go. We have our nice angled roof. So, stick the roof on and plug the gaps. Need another one at the back and the front, just to the central section a little bit higher. Get a little bit more character. 1 and 2. And there we go. Plug up the last couple of holes. We have a much more interesting look to the roof than just the plain sort of thing we've done on other occasions. Breaks at the shape of the building a little bit, which is going to be kind of the theme for this one. Certainly when you start with a small footprint like this, you often end up with a bit of a square boxy build, so changing up the angles of it keeps life a little more interesting. So, we'll have a look from the outside again. Say, sides in particular are rather flat here. And whilst the front's starting to look the way I want it to, definitely need to make the overall shape of the thing a little bit more interesting. We're going to take these back corners out again, put a couple of, I suppose, towers or mini towers on the corners. Make it stick out a little bit, change up the angles a little bit. Break up those smooth sides. Couple of foundations in, another uncooperative piece. Here we go, gotcha. So rather than going all the way up here, we're going to stop this one a little lower than the rest of the roof. Again, just change up the heights, change up the shape a little bit. A couple of half walls there. Pull off these side ones because they're getting in the way of the roof. There we go. In hindsight, you should probably have used the square roof on that one rather that meets in a central point. But the one we use works, so it's all good. Yep. Around to the other side, a couple of foundations snapped in. Fill in the gap where I was originally just going to have it cut in there, but we'll put the towers on and make it match a little. It back up a level. Check I know where I'm going. Whip the walls out and get the roof on. And again, this wall on the right's getting slightly in the way, so that'll have to come out. There you go. Little persuasion, we have a roof. So, put the walls back in. And we now have a slightly more interesting structure. So, as we're not able to put any railings around these stairs, or at least not opposite the entranceway, you can see there, just stick some walls in, which ends up giving it a little bit more character in the end, rather than having just a large open space up here. And I quite like the result. You'll see on the tour in a moment, it actually came out quite well. So, having a look at the sides again, we're getting there. We need to put a few windows in, just break up the textures a little bit, and we'll need to do a little bit more in a moment just to give it a little bit more life and shape. Definitely moving in the right direction now. One more there. We'll head around the other side and do the same there, and head around to the back here. And we're basically going to kind of echo the front, I suppose. Not quite mirror it, but kind of close to that. So, swap these out for a couple of doorways, and we'll put some mini balconies out here as well. want to find the right floor piece. There we go. Server catches up. So, it's starting to get towards what we want. And just once more, just to make those sides a little bit more interesting, I'm going to put a couple of extra balconies on the side. I'm going to make these ones a little bit bigger than the ones we've got in the front and the back. As soon as we stick our head out here, that's really not going to work, just having that little mini one there. So swap these out for the full-size floor pieces and give it a little bit of seating space, somewhere to hang out up here. There we go. Yeah, man. Nice. Swap that around so it matches the floor inside. Don't have a little OCD about these things. There we go. A few railings, and pretty much have it. For the most part, that's the main structure. The only thing I haven't shown so far is putting a little bit of a balcony on downstairs, which I think I forgot to record, to be honest. Yes, indeed I did, as I've now run out of wood at this stage, and with the main structure more or less together, sans the balcony, you might as well take a look at the decorated product, so that's where the full effect can be seen. So, gone for a nighttime tour for this one. I'm not going to do a daytime one because it doesn't really capture the lighting effect very well on the day. A couple of the waving Santas that they brought back from last Christmas, I think they first put these out and returned to the Atomic Shop. Patch snack decorations work quite well as a little addition here. I've not got very many of them, but adds a little bit of variety. Little shiny Christmas trees, a few cycling lights there just to add a splash of colour. I wish we didn't have to wire them up directly though, that's a bit unfortunate. We'll head on in. One of the other things I've added back into the Atomic Shop is inflatable snowmen, but they have this weird laughing sounds that come with them, and it's very, very annoying, so I took those out quite quickly. But we get into the main grotto here. I picked up a couple of bits of wallpaper as well, expanded the collection, so some of the wood panelling here, just to make it feel a little more warm and welcoming. Unfortunately, I haven't got any presents to scatter around. We'll have to imagine they're in the trunk. A little look out towards one of the towers. Bit of wallpaper in here. Our Santatron is kind of stuck behind the door, but here he is. Plenty of amusing Christmas lines out of that guy. Much less annoying than the usual Collectron. And here's our dead simple little balcony tacked onto the back, just to, again, give it a little bit more shape. And an alternative way in, I suppose, if you're approaching from the north. We've got a couple of balconies up there that are more for decoration than anything else. Swing around the other side. Some of the lines that Robot comes out with do make me chuckle. There's some really good ones on there. And it's totally free, so you might as well grab it in the Atomic Shop. You've got until the end of the year, so it's an opportunity. A few little bits of decoration. That fireplace is also in the Atomic Shop. Not fantastically cheap if I remember rightly, but it's quite a cool little addition. It's nice to have. Tucked power armor station down here, bottom of the stairs. Gone for Voltaic generators right to avoid the noise, plus they're small and don't take up too much room, which is great. Up here we've gone for something somewhere in between a kind of standard player home type thing. I've managed to put a panel on one side, not the other apparently. Yeah, somewhere between a player home and Santa's workshop, I suppose. We've got all the workbenches up here as well. Keeps in with the kind of cabin vibe of the rest of the building, which is quite nice. I like how it came out. It's kind of cosy and warm. Wallpaper making a big difference there, I think. Nice little seating area out here, adding a little splash of decoration and colour to the outside. The light bleeding through from downstairs is a bit strange, but it does add to the atmosphere a little bit, so I can live with it on this one. Little look out the other side. There's 4 different colours of Christmas trees, some with baubles, some without. Or one of each colour with and without, rather. So I've mixed and matched those up as well. Listed as aluminium Christmas trees. For the life of me, imagine why you'd have an aluminium Christmas tree, but okay. They do add a nice little splash of festive colour around. Another waving Santa and a tree out here. Again, these balconies are too small really to do anything particularly interesting with, so I thought I'd use them as a little bit of extra decoration. Workbenches, everything you need really. No turrets in this place, and there was something else I think I left out, but I forget what it was. Oh yes, the player vending. That didn't really fit in with the rest of the build. But otherwise, everything you need for a player home. A nice festive theme. So, we'll make our little journey back down the stairs, have a quick look around the main grotto again, and make our way back out. Yeah, not massive fan of the orange shag carpet that I've got down on the floor, but with the lighting in here, it kind of takes some of the edge off of the iffy texture. Makes it a bit more creative. There we go. So, definitely need some snow, which is, I think, the biggest thing this particular build is missing. That and a few presents, but otherwise, not too bad an attempt at a Santa's Grotto in Fallout. Santatron's Grotto. Yeah, quite happy with particularly how the lighting came out on this one. It's a nice, fun, simple little build. Pretty pleased with it. So, I do hope you guys and gents enjoyed that. If you did, please do hit those buttons for me. It's very, very much appreciated. Social media links down in the description as well if you want to keep up to date with me on Twitter, Instagram or Facebook. And if you're really enjoying the content, please do consider becoming a channel member as well and trying to catch one of the live streams as well. It should be resuming in the new year. For now, thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful Christmas and holiday season, and whatever you're doing and wherever you are. I do hope you enjoy yourselves, and I look forward to seeing you all again in the new year. Thank you very much. I'll speak to you soon.